Okay, comic fans, we are back and settled in from C2E2 2026. What a weekend, and now it's time to go over all the comics I picked up. Let's dig in. All right, so I have a nice fat stack of books that I picked up at C2E2 2026 in Chicago. And yeah, a range of dollar books to a couple dollar books to some little more expensive ones and a few surprises as well. I guess, and if I had to put a theme on it, it would be secondary runs. So all the, not necessarily my main runs, but a lot of those next tier of titles that I do pick up. So let's dive in. We have, actually, this is a free book, two free books that I got. One from Bad Idea, who was there at the show. This is, what is this? Planet Death, number 0. I have already read this one. I'm curious to see how the rest of it is. I know there are a few issues in, but from based on what it looks like on mycomicshop.com, the last one I think was issue 2 or 3, and it was out several months ago, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then also we have got a free copy of Comics, the magazine, number 1, this new book that they're just pushing and hoping to be something big. The niche that Where's the Magazine used to fill, and maybe a couple other magazines. But yeah, so, and we have Absolute Batman kind of headlining that. So yeah, there's that. And let's dive into some of the Image books first, because it's a small stack of those, and everything else is Marvel. But so I'm working on catching up on the current state of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, not the Energon Universe Joe, but after Image picked up this, or picked up the G.I. Joe license. So yeah, there is, what is that, 308, 315, Glare, Stupid Glare, and 319 with Serpentor there. So yes, tapping back into the world of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, see what's going on there. And of course, we have some Spawn. So Spawn 171, picking up some of those issues, because Spawn is always near and dear. And then one more of those elusive John Boy Meyer issues, 257. Finally, so I have just one more of these. I think it's 256 or 258. Probably 258, I believe. But yeah, for whatever reason, those John Boy Meyer issues just, I don't know if it was low print run, but they're just hard to come by. So, and not, it's not, I like John Boy Meyer, like, cool, I don't know. So I don't know if it's just the hype of him or whatever it is, but those issues are hard to come by, and I'm just a Spawn fan, so just working on filling out that run still. So yeah, those are the small Image books, and then, or small set of Image books. Everything else is all Marvel. Oh my. So yeah, I found just tons of stuff I was working on. We have some X-Men Unlimited, 2 issues of that. Mystique and Emma Frost on here. Number 40. Oh my gosh, crazy glare. And 42. Doing these out of order because I already have them organized in a specific order. So, but I don't want to show off all the cool books like ahead of schedule. So yeah, so we're just jumping around. In this one we have Uncanny X-Men 501. This is probably one of the, well, no, I do have a few from some of my main runs, but this is one I'm after because I want to, I've talked about getting a lot of duplicates of books that I already have signed, and this one I do have signed by probably Brubaker and Fraction, maybe Greg as well. So pick that one up from Victory Comics. I was doing a $3 or 7 for 20. So I always stop by them and grab a set of books there. Next up, save that one because that one was a big one, a big surprise there. So this one, got a nice little stack of Iron Man here. Iron Man 82, 84. So a lot of sub 100 stuff. 85. Fear wears 2 faces. 88. So I did some nice damage to my Iron Man run here. Got a couple issues with the controller. There's 90 and 91. Back to back. 92. Back to back to back. And I might actually finish out my 90s with this one right here with Guardsman, 97. Right before that is 96, which has one of my favorite Iron Man covers of all time. And then we jump up to 123. Finally found the direct edition of this one. Struggling. This one and the next issue that I picked up. I jumped on them both when I saw the direct editions because I was not hesitating anymore. 144, for whatever reason, 123 and 144 were the hardest to find direct editions of. Just absolutely struggling. Pricing or just the condition. And 123 is the one. I can see why 123 is hardest because that was when the direct edition started for Iron Man. So, yes. And then the last issue, one of the later ones, The Death of Tony Stark, Iron Man 284, laying there in the casket. So, yeah, nice little stack of Iron Man. Always down for that, doing some nice damage. Nothing crazy there, but just some cool issues, especially with got the controller in there. So, always nice to see him pop up. And then we have, oh yes. So I did some crazy unexpected damage to my original G.I. Joe run from Marvel. Yeah, first up we have, finally got number 1. I don't think I've ever even, last time I even come across it at number 1. But G.I. Joe Special Missions number 1. I think I need one more issue of this one, maybe 4 or 11 for some reason. Probably 11, I believe. I don't know why, but I could be wrong. But yes, G.I. Joe Special Missions number 1. Needed that, and then I was just going all around. You saw a little clip I did showing off flipping through some G.I. Joe books from one vendor. Here's 33. Got Cobra Commander there, Storm Shadow, and the Cobra Trooper at the podium. 34. Yeah. All these have been... Actually, two of these I will be getting rid of because I realized they were second printings. And G.I. Joe at that time, as well as Transformers, had issue where a lot of those were second printings. 35. 36. Got Roadblock on there. 40. Gunfire. A lot of action there. 41. My main man, Storm Shadow. 42. There's 2 issues. I forget, the next one should be coming up soon. 44. 54. And Unmasking, this is one. Second printing. 55. And Cobra Commander in his battle armor. 58. Zanzibar. 60. Yeah. And Snake Eyes Storm Shadow on this one. Wasn't passing this one up. 66. 68. Then we got Destro on the gold. 69. Nice. And last issue, G.I. Joe picked up. Featuring Roadblock on the cover again. G.I. Joe 78. A Real American Hero. Yes. So sweet to just go through so much G.I. Joe throughout the show. And there was more I was looking at, but didn't end up picking up. And we jumped to one issue of Daredevil I got. I was after 119. I have been looking at one of these online. And thankfully I just found it at the convention for significantly cheaper. So didn't have to sift through all the other copies online that I have been looking at. So there's that. And then we get into, we have some Black Panther from the 98 run. One issue I was missing, 58. Fills in a little gap there for a stretch of issues. And then from the his original 15 issue run by that started off with Jack Kirby. Got 4 issues of that. There's number 4. Number 11. And then snagged the last 2 issues of that as well. 14 got Claw in there and some Avengers. So this Claw, and then this one, just electric ass cover with more Avengers action. Number 15, the final issue of that Black Panther run. So just need a handful of issues, give or take, on that to finish up. So yeah, digging it. And as we get into the last handful of books I've picked up over the weekend, jump into some Captain America, because hard to come away from a convention weekend without picking up some Cap books. So we have Cap 123. We got Nick Fury, the Mysterious Suprema, her first appearance. We have 126 with Falcon, nice for action cover. And 128, which completes my run of the 120s. And only 2 early issues I need are in the teens, 112 and 119, which is third appearance of Falcon. But yes, here is Cap. Yellow covers, trifecta of yellow covers for Captain America. One of them does have a little bit of staining on it, but it was cheap, and yes, I just rocked with it. But yes, that's Cap, or just a couple Cap issues. Last 2 books, 2 of the bigger books of the weekend. This one might have been the last purchase I made and made a deal with. Introducing the pounding power of the Wrecker. That's right. Thor 148, first appearance of the Wrecker. I like the Wrecker, like the Wrecking Crew. Some of those other villains, none of the kind of universe-breaking villains. I still dig the lower level, the street level ones, or just, again, not just the major, we're going to destroy the world and universe type style. But yes, here's Wrecker. Wrecking Crew does have, or in his enchanted crowbar, does have a bit of a crease, which is why I wasn't going to pay the price that the dealer had on it. But when I saw it, I said, oh, that's a nice looking copy. Flip through it. It looks great. Nice presenting. So it's like, hey, let's make a deal on this. And we did. So yes, Thor 148, Wrecker, welcome to the collection. That's right. And the other bigger book of the weekend, the surprise, not a big surprise, but just one I was happy to finally score from a dealer I've done business with before. Always fantastic selection and always willing to make deals. I picked up this book and another Cap, one of the other Cap books together in a bundle deal. But yeah, we got Steranko, we got Hydra, Captain America, 111. That is right. That cover there, presenting well. Like I said, I made a deal with this one. There was the third book I was potentially going to get, but something about it, it looked, I don't know, just the cut of it, it looked almost like trimmed, and I did not want to take a look at or take a chance on it and waste the money and find out later on it had been trimmed. I tried to compare it to some other copies, but it's hard to do that when you got different books, and because you have to find an exact same copy of it for the best comparison, I think, a lot of times. But yes, Cap 111. Oh, yeah, so yeah, that is my haul. C2E2 2026 in the books. I still do have a separate video, like a recap of the convention weekend, C2E2 2026, from the lens of the world of comics and talking about what C2E2 is in this year going forward and how it is from the perspective of a comic book fan. So it's a bit of a part recap and part for like overall recap, as well as like comic book style recap. So be on the lookout for that one. But I wanted to do a separate video just of the books that I picked up, for just talking about the comic book buying experience that I picked up. Obviously, I was able to come away with a lot of books, made some fantastic deals, quite a few vendors there. And yeah, like I said, from dollar books on up to, there's obviously collector editions and omnibus you could find, a lot of graphic novels around there. Dollar books on up to multi-$100,000 books all throughout the floor, raw books, graded books, all that was there present. And I know there were a lot of other conventions going on at the same time, that same weekend at least, and within the same period, convention season is well underway. So if you were at a convention that weekend or at C2E2, what was your comic buying experience? Share some of that in the comments below. I'll be checking out other coverage, other videos from other conventions and other people's hauls and their kind of perspectives on the comic book experience there at C2E2, as well as some of the other conventions that weekend. So yeah, share your thoughts and perspectives and opinions and your experiences in the comments below. Definitely want to hear about it. And as I said, be on the lookout for the other C2E2 2026 recap of the weekend. Because again, fantastic weekend still, a lot of cool stuff on deck or that were going on at the show. But yeah, I want to talk about the comics because that's what we're doing here. So yes, that is that. I'm Gino. This is genotalkscomics. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check out some other videos on the channel, and stay tuned. Go check out the website, genotalkscomics.com. More convention coverage from the weekend there, and more stuff on deck. All the socials, genotalkscomics, everywhere pretty much. So yes, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hit that like button if you enjoy this sort of content, and stay tuned for more.